We was losing the house, we was 5 payment behind.
Paid it off?
Yes, we paid off the first mortgage in 18 months. My first year in Lincoln Heritage, 236,000 in AP, crying in the church with a few pennies in my wallet. Say, God, I asking only one thing. Give me a job where I can provide for my family enough, but I can help the community.
Welcome, everybody, to the Insurance Man Podcast, Don't Shoot. Today, we got a very special guest, Miss Daniela Etchagoyen out of Texas. Daniela, so really excited here. We had a couple challenges today getting going, and we were just talking about a lot of times nothing good happens without a challenge or a struggle. But first off, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, maybe a little bit about your background, and then we can go from there.
Thank you for having me right here. I'm already always see you as a top leader right there in California, and I'm excited to be here today. And my name is Daniela Etchagoyen. I have over 20 years experience in the insurance industry total. And then I come from South America, next to Argentina, Uruguay. Grew up in a very, very poor family. And I was selling pastries with my mom and my brothers, my oldest one. I'm the number 5 in a family of 10 to build the first church right there in Uruguay. South America, Uruguay is through 3.2 million people right there. And then come to US, and my age was 21, looking for the American dream. Never went to college, never went to the university, never. I finished my high school, having 2 babies already. Okay. I was the rebel daughter of the pastors. Okay. So 2 daughters and my husband, $400 and carry on. That's how I arrived to America. We arrived to Miami and down there in the 2000s, looking for the American dream. This is a little bit about me. Again, I started speaking English in 2009 and come with a lot of dreams. After 8 years looking for an opportunity, I was cleaning schools, I was doing real estate, I was doing some credits repair and different things, okay, over there in Florida. And then we moved to Texas. My husband lost his job over there. He never went to college either. We was a teen parents. And one of the amazing things is the American dream, right? That today is like, it's in question today, American dream. And then we come to Texas, and then I was working in a furniture store. I started as a cashier, and one of my friend went to visit me in the furniture store. I started as a cashier, and I ended up to be the manager. And I remember crying some days in the restaurant because the top manager of all the stores come and supervise the store and tell a lot of things. And I say, God, I remember being in the restaurant and say, God, I never can allow anyone to treat me like this way and make me cry. I come right here for different things. And then a couple of days later, one of my friends come, say, Daniela, why are you doing it here? Why don't you do insurance? Get my license. Those time was very difficult. Okay, not like today. And I applied 5 times. I lost my exam 5 times. Okay, I was very bad in school. So I passed my exam in Texas, get my license, my full license. I started doing insurance. I was doing Medicare. Down there in 2006, 2007, I was making around 70 to 80 grand. I was representing around 60, 70 companies doing investments in Spanish, my first language. Doing investment, I was doing a lot of Medicare. And then in 2008, the economy and then the law changed in the Medicare system. Things changed. You cannot reach people like, I'm talking about down there in 2008. We can always, a nation can reach people just like that. So the government, they changed a lot of regulations and was a lot of training in the different types of products that we were representing. To make this history short, we almost lost our house, and down there in 2008, we almost ended up in bankruptcy because when you do a lot of different product and you don't have a great customer service, you start having chargeback and you don't know what to do and try to convince your client to keep going. And then Medicare with all the restriction. I was quitting the insurance industry in the end of 2008. Everything was bad, very bad in my family, financially, spiritually, and all the finances. I said, God, I remember that week before Christmas, my daughters, they have an event in the church, and they was praying. I said, God, if you are in the insurance industry, tell me what to do. I'm looking for a job. I was just asking you for a job where I can provide for my family. But I want something that I want to help the community. Always in my heart is my childhood, my parents always was building churches. And my dad, today, my mom is 77 and she's still on the radio and she's still preaching. And my dad is still in his wheelchair. He is right now in this point, he is in October, last year in October, the doctor say, send him home. He died soon. He's still alive. Thank God. But one thing I always remember, my dad always tell me when we was a child, hey, whatever you do, be the best. So in all the job and all the different opportunity I had in America in the first 8 years I was here, I always try to do my best and make this force and have the discipline to be the best. So I always end up in all this job I have being the best. Even in the last furniture store, and then I get my license and I start this journey. And after praying God and asking God in church, God, provide something I can help the community. I don't want to sell something that I don't believe. I don't want to sell something that had to push people and broke the economies. If she's a sell person, we can sell whatever we want. When you have the skills and when you have some information, you can sell a lot, but that's not the point. The point is to help the community, do something that you are passionate about it. And I asking God for that. I asking God for a job, because in my mind, business don't was right here in my mind. And then Golden Memorial arrived to my life. And one friend was mine from another company, Medicare, when I was in Medicare, told me, Daniela, I know that you speak Spanish, he speak English. It's an opportunity right here in Texas for final expense. It's something similar to Medicare. It's with senior, and probably you're gonna do great. And the funny part is that he arrived I said, if he's in English, I don't speak English. I need you translate. I'm here that was from God that gave me the opportunity. I was asking him 1 week ago, getting back to 2008. And this opportunity arrived, Golden Memorial with Lincoln Heritage arrived to my life. And I remember that I told him, you will translate, was in English, the meeting. And I just signed my contract and get a couple of leads and some brochures. And I take that, even, I can be honest, me and my husband, in that time, we don't read English. We understand a little bit, but we don't speak English. And I said, God, I trust in you, and this is what I ask in you, and you are presenting this opportunity. My friend was translating a little bit about the product, and I get in love from the first month, because I was making around $6,000 in advance commission. My first month, I'm talking them there in 2009. By the way, in the back, I have the Golden Memorial reward that they sent it to me. My first month was over $13,000 in AP.
So you got invited, my friend, right? Who was it that did the meeting? Was it Richard Peavy?
I don't even remember who was.
Okay.
I don't even remember, but I know there was a lot of people down there, and was a couple of people. I don't know if it was someone from Golden Memorial. I didn't even was paying attention, because I went with my friend and I don't speak English. And I remember someone was talking. If you ask me, really, I don't remember exactly. Okay. But I know that I come with that friend that was signed already with Lincoln Heritage, and was a friend from Medicare that introduced us to Medicare business. And I saw him that time, and what I found out that he disappeared. And I in that under Richard Peavy.
So the agent that brought you the meeting, he's not even with the company anymore.
And you know what is the funny part? That 8 years later, when I started in 2015, he disappeared in 2009 when I started Lincoln. Disappeared. He moved to he divorced, he moved to Colombia, have a new wife, and 8 years later, in 2015, he come back and he looked for me. He tried to present to me another business, an insurance industry by another company. And I said, I'm doing great. That was in 2015. I was doing in personal production, 237,000. And my team that year in 2015 was making $1.7 million in AP, my first year in leadership.
That's awesome.
Yes.
What was it that stood out that you remembered? Was it just that you prayed about it and you felt God was pointing you in that direction, or what was like the major standout that you said, "Hey, I'm going to go all in with Gold Memorial"?
What I see was the product that was a very simple product. I used to work in Medicare and another life insurance companies, and I was doing a little bit of investment in a couple of companies. And what I see is the easy underwriting process, and I see that was a need. I'm sorry, that was like I don't have to push people to buy $200-300 in premium. I can work in their budget and look the paperwork, and everything was good. And that time, I called the corporate office. I remember because I speak English and then Richard Peavy, so I never been in the field with no one. I don't have no one day at all training. Okay, no one day of my life. I just sign the contract and disappear. Get a couple of lead, get the folders, and go to work. And once a month, when was the monthly meeting, I show up at the office because I always was the top producer from the first month I started in the company. I was with Lincoln Heritage. If you've seen the back, 4 years in the row, top producer of Lincoln Heritage.
Yeah.
The memorial, I believe, so was 3 years. And those times right there, in 2010, 11, 12, 13. My best month was 13, was the year 13, May. I was making 42,000 in AP. That was my best month ever. I get in love with the product. I get in love.
Maybe some agents that are struggling. What was like one of the bigger challenges that you faced, or was there a point when you first started where you maybe ran into some challenges, and how did you overcome those?
To be honest with you, I was crying a lot because working in the Medicare industry is a little different, and some investment and some other type insurance that was done is because I have in those companies some type of sleep program, and then it's completely different Medicare to be independent insurance agent. So when I come here, a lot of receptions, I don't know how to work the lead, no training for me. Lincoln in 2009, and in the end of 2008, Lincoln started making the Spanish customer service. So I was training a lot by Madai in the corporate office. I
Okay.
was calling her, and that was one of the biggest challenge. I don't know how to work the lead. We're talking about 2009, where today is a lot of tools, YouTube, anywhere you can find information.
Yeah.
But those times was print your lead, send the application by fax or by the UPS package. That was my days.
And how did you pick it up so quick? Because we started around the same time. I've always seen your numbers and your consistency. Like, what was it that you were doing day in and day out to help stay so consistent?
I always said one things, and God spoke about that in the Bible too. That you need to have a purpose, and you need to have a big why to drive you. And not only that, I believe everyone repeat that, the top producer, but have a big dream and have a big purpose why you want to do that. But for me, was everything was the whole package. Even I don't have no training, even I don't have nothing. Okay, it was me, my lead, and that I'm very thankful for that. And the product, but I believe in the product immediately because it was a question. I was 32 years old, and I was a question all the time I was asking myself, what if something happened to me? And so when I went to the communities and see that there was help me in those time, 2009, say, thank you, Daniela, for being here, because we were requesting information through television advertising and mail outs, and nobody responds. We already have this company, blah, 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 but this is what we was looking for. And then people talk to you about the whole history, what's going on. I get more passionate about it, but self-discipline, a big desire, and why you want to do this. I know that I come to America to be successful. I don't come right here to be mediocre. I know that for sure because I can get back to my country. And those times I was thinking to myself and my husband too, I want to give the best for my daughters. I brought my two daughters. My oldest one, she's 32. The other one is 29, almost 30 next month. And then I have, my baby was 8 months old. And I want freedom, the freedom that everyone is looking for. All the American, all the people today and every day looking for what? Money and freedom. And I find my freedom with one product. And I remember I used to be appointed with all those companies, and they send me emails. Hey, Daniela, I was a top producer in Medicare, and I was making around 80 grand. down there in 2008 in Medicare. So I was doing great, not bad. But then chart back, when it happened.
What did you end up doing your first year with Lincoln and Gold Memorial? What did you end up making your first full 12 months?
I can tell you right now, I don't know if I can stand up, but 236,000.
So 236,000 in production.
My first year in Lincoln Heritage, I have the plates. Lincoln used to send the plates. 236,000 in AP. My first year, if you divide, we're talking about 18,000 a month.
That's phenomenal. That's
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. And what were you doing kind of day in and day out to stay consistent? How many leads were you working on like a weekly or monthly basis? And then what were you doing outside of leads to where you can stay busy enough to write that kind of business?
One of the things that drive me and helped me a lot was always thinking, okay, Daniela, you was working in the furniture store, okay, from 8 in the morning to 9:30 p.m., Monday to Friday, or Monday to Saturday, some days. So if you utilize the same time to getting better on your skills and see more people, you can accomplish more. So that's one of the things I always was thinking that I was talking to you about discipline. I don't was utilize my time of being in the field to go do my nails or something personal. No, I was focused 100%. All those hours, of course, as a mom for me was so important to stop lunch with my daughters. I never miss soccer. I never miss gymnastic. Never. I always be able to be very disciplined with my time and put all those things as a mom. Because for me, I'm 32 years married with my husband, and I'm very successful in my spiritual life and my family. I'm a grandma, I have 3 grandbabies.
Congratulations.
Very successful financially, okay? Okay, so for me, all those aspects are important, but in those time help a lot. And my husband is an Asian too, so we live 100% by commission. But my faith, my why I want to do this, and the product, I get passionate about it. And my first month, I said, Daniela, you need to do this. You need to stop everything you was done. Was quick for me because I see the product and the benefit for the community. And I asking God, hey, I want God provide something that can serve the community. And for me, that was the job. It's going in there, listen different history from 10, 15 people on the daily basis and try to the way to connect with them and care about them. People can feel if you really care about them. And listen all those history between 2009 and 2015. I ended up to doing the field in 2016 when I opened my agency. I was in the field. So I was through different situation. And I said, I was always looking in the numbers in Lincoln. And I said, how these people make these numbers? How many leads I need to get? Going back to the lead, I'm getting so the lead was the opportunity for me to go in the lead. And then when I was listening the history, I closed the deal. I start getting those skills. I went through around 13, 14 book in that time that helped me tremendously in my skills, like Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, today's Grant Cardone, lots of people, okay? Robert Kiyosaki, and different types of book that helped me to connect better and to do my business better and be effective. Okay, I think self-discipline is one of the key to be successful in this industry. And it's the hardest part from the new agents because it's some type of fairy tale that I can be a millionaire with this license, blah, 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 blah. But most of the time, the Asian 92% getting completely lost. What do they need to do? And a lead program, yes, I was utilized a lot of lead, getting the lead. But the main thing is the lead was my opportunity to go to that neighborhood. So I used to park my car in the corner and start walking. In every house that I have see someone outside or see some handicap or any situation, I knock the doors. And I went through my lead. If my lead don't answer, always talking with the neighbors and present myself. And when I go in, I was make sure that I was making application, helping the family, okay, very effective, help the family, and make sure that asking my clients that we already connect, asking them, Mrs. Smith, from the 1 to 10, how you see my work? Why you think this is important for you? Do you recommend this program to somebody else? And of course, I always asking them, hey, Mrs. Smith, I learned after when Lincoln was sending me the cards, hey, this is a brother of so-and-so that you should close the deal, but you don't get your referrals. And I remember one day being the shim, and I remember when I signed up, they asked me for the emergency contact. And then when you go to the doctor, my emergency contact, and I say, why I utilize this to my business? I utilize around a month, 120 lead. I know there's was a percentage, okay? But from there, how make the difference is a two word I always utilize and teach my agents is be intentional and be proactive. So I was closing the deal now, but I had to make sure that I have some appointment next to this immediately or for next day. With my best lead for me is the emergency contact. And so I started, Lincoln used to call me the machine. How is she doing? I remember sometime they was looking at all my business because they said, this is.
You're writing too much. What's she doing
it,
wrong?
yes, but I love that process and the feel. And I remember one day when I see you in the JR 50, right in Cali, I don't know if you remember, that you was one of the best of your year when you was in leadership. And in that time, I don't remember if you was a district manager or supervision manager. I don't even remember. But I remember looking to you say, oh my gosh, this guy is so far away. I need to learn a lot. And I remember come to you and ask you some question. Probably you understand even half of what I asking you because my accent and my limitation to speak English I don't speak English at all, a little bit, but I want to talk with you. I remember that particular party that was JR 50.
Yeah, I
I don't
do
know if you
remember.
remember.
Yeah, I do remember for sure. You mentioned that you would knock the neighbors. What was it that you said to the neighbors whenever you would talk to people? And then how would you approach the emergency contacts, the people that are going to get the FCGS cards? How would you approach those two to leverage that to write more business?
When I went to the neighbor, I just always utilize, of course, Lincoln never told me to utilize or Golden to utilize a shirt. And by the way, right here in Texas, me and my husband who put the badge and the shirt in Richard's office for everyone. From there, everyone started utilize shirt because when I knock the doors, people don't open because they don't recognize that you come from any company. So I start putting my shirt and my badge. My husband was doing the badge in those times. And I arrived there. And so when I go to the lead, no answer, went to the neighbor, hey, how you doing today? This is Daniela. Your neighbor just requests some information. She really wants to cover the loved ones, and I'm here to present myself. I'm the person in the area to help the families with this program. And I always have a brochure in my hands. I give it to them. And as soon as they open, you have 30 seconds to connect with that person. That person is at the door looking for the brochure, and I have 30 seconds to say something that will connect with him or give me the opportunity to that person ask me more questions. So for example, saying, do you already have something in place? This is for the neighborhood, for the community, with all things happening. It's so important to be covered. This is a program that is life insurance with final expense and then accident like that. And we are helping the community with this. Let me give you this brochure, maybe you or somebody else. I never say you need this. Everyone is gonna die. So we are in the best business.
Yeah.
Okay. No one can tell me no.
Yeah.
I always said, I just was in South Texas and said, oh my goodness, it's so much business right here. Anyways, I talk with the neighbors. Say, I'm sorry for interrupt you. I'm just bring the information. As soon as they see the brochure, Mr. Smith, Mr. Martinez, this is my name, blah, blah, blah. As soon as they open, 30 seconds. And they, oh, what is this about? Probably somebody else in your family need this. You're not gonna die. Somebody else, not you. Somebody else. So when you do that, they open the brochure because if you tell them it's for you, they don't open it. That's
Yeah.
how I found out. So they open it and I represent myself. Oh, by the way, we send this postcard to the whole neighborhood. Probably do you receive it and you put it in trash or maybe you already have something in place. And by the way, what amazing flowers do you have in here? Or let's see, they have a very nice truck. Oh my gosh, I love your truck. It's so amazing. Let's see if it was a man, the owner of the house. How amazing your truck it is. Oh my goodness. Someday I will be like you and have this type of truck. Things like that. And I start connecting from the door with people. And they told me, oh, I already have life insurance at my job, I already get an insurance. Oh, great. What type of program do you have? What type of insurance do you have? Do you utilize this insurance? You will count in this insurance for pay your final expense or for leave some money to your loved ones or your children or grandchildren. And they start talking to me, and that was the point to connect and asking if he has a wife or blah, blah, blah. And I immediately say, no, it's for me and I have something, but I really don't know. 92% of people that get insurance, they don't know what they buy. So I was the specialist. I always told them, I promise you, I'm not going to charge you anything. Let me review what you have in place. So make sure that you have the right program for what are you looking for. And based on my statistic, I always was a good student. I get so passionate about my business where I always getting book information, and those times I always utilize my time to looking for information so I can come to the community and bring the right information to the community, right? So you have to give them the right information and be ready, not just the product. You need to know the market, what's going on. You need to know what happened in this neighborhood. So I know the information. I know what's going on in the community. Getting back to the lead, I utilize a lot of lead. Lead is just an opportunity. It's always I tell my agents, lead is just a name. It's someone that have some interest, but will depend on your skills as a professional salesperson, how you connect and find out the need of that person. Okay? Because a lot of confusion all the time about the lead. What is a good lead? What is a bad lead? Let me tell you, my best lead our company creates the mail out. That's for me the best one. That gave me an opportunity to go and see people on a daily basis when I was in the field. And be willing to work. In the beginning, you're just gonna be working hard. A lot of people think, no, you're just gonna be millionaire like this. And oh my gosh, no. You gotta work. You have to do your homework and your product. You need to have, I always said I never went to college, but I have my master's degree in what I do. And I'm still, I always say one thing. I only know that I don't know nothing. That keep myself humble to that I need to receive more information because I want to be where you are. I'm
Well,
working on it.
it's something that really stands out is you said you were able to go to all your daughter's events or anything they had going on, but it was because of that discipline. Like a lot of people will come into insurance, and I'm sure you see this a lot where people say, I want to be my own boss because I don't want to work for anybody and I don't want to work Saturdays and I don't want to work this time and that time. And it's especially those first couple of years, especially that first year in particular. I think a lot of people come in with that misconception to where you can have the flexibility to do all those things, but you have to be willing to put in the extra work so that you're able to get to see enough people, right? You're able to give yourself enough opportunity to win, especially as you're learning and mastering those processes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Like I said, a lot of people, most people, I interview people on the daily basis, and I already went through a lot of people, and they say the day that I interview them, this is my dream. This is what I try to accomplish. This is why I want to be independent. I'm looking for financial freedom. I'm looking for time. But when you explain to them, hey, you will need training on the daily basis, 1 or 2 hours in the daily basis, so you can learn day by day how you can be better and how you can master and communicate. Because people, you have to be likable. People like people that care about them. And it's something that you can feel that. People can feel how you're feeling, how you're doing that day. So it is crucial that you are focused 100% and make sure that you go in the field with the right attitude. I always tell my agents that one book that I would recommend when those days that I was so frustrated with my lead, and I remember crying. I was listening audiobook in those time, and I remember go to my clients and they don't show up and they slap the door in my face, or they change somebody that speak English. So many things happened to me, and I remember going in my car and crying, and get those lead. In those time we was printing the lead. Okay, print the lead. So I was doing like a ball and putting back in my car, and so crazy, and go back home. And I arrived to my homes, and my daughter asked me, Mom, how was your day? Do you close something today? I said, no, I'm so frustrated. I don't close anything. I don't want to do this anymore. And then next day I come back at the field again, and I change my attitude. I always said, if you cannot manage yourself, it's two things that you can do. You can manage your emotion, and you can manage your attitude, you can manage your actions. You cannot manage people's action or emotions. You can do yours. And when you are be able to manage yours, and that's I believe one of the hardest part in the business, when people run you, that they have all this dream, but they don't have a plan for success. They believe, I'm independent, I'm my own boss. I'm sorry, you're not.
Yeah.
In order to you be a good leader, you have to be a good follower first. And I was be able to work in myself. I can tell you, I never in my childhood, I never have a brand new pair of Spanish, brand new. Never. I always utilize my brothers and sisters' shoes. So you imagine my mentality. You imagine all my background that I was around 10, 8 years old, and I was selling pastries and door to door with the members of the church to build a church, the first church that my dad built. And I was so excited, happy. Okay. I never was be able to have my first bicycle. When I have 15 years old, I get a credit line with a friend and I buy my first bicycle on my 15.
Wow.
And on my 16, I have my first baby.
Oh,
Yes. That's my no hope for me. I can tell you this. I'm that type of person that there was no hope for me at all. No hope. Never don't have the opportunity because as soon as my baby's born, I don't have no time for college. We don't have no time. We need to fit our children's. Thank God that we survived with my husband together. And I'm one of the biggest success parts of my life is our family. And we always work as a team and we support each other with my husband. And even when we went through different situations in our life, as an immigrant, don't know the language or don't have a career or don't have enough knowledge about what's going on in here, you
yeah.
know.
What and when did your husband get into the industry? Did he start at the same time that you did?
A couple of days later, but actually he has some issues that they don't was finding his license, so he get approved, I believe so 2 or 3 weeks later than myself.
So a lot of people see your success and they think, how good a person is, like you mentioned, sitting in your car and crying. A lot of people, I think they don't prepare for that. And they don't, you'd mentioned like some books and things. So you were listening to a lot of audibles and different things to keep you motivated. What other things were you doing to continue moving forward, right? Whenever you had those bad days, because it's going to happen to everybody. I really like that you said it's how we react, right? The things that we can control, because we can't control if we go out and you get 25 doors or 30 doors slammed in your face. It's going to happen. You're going to have days that everything seems to go wrong. What are some specific things that you would recommend to an agent or someone when they go through those things to ensure that they can keep their attitude right and keep moving forward in a positive direction?
I believe that it's like a lifestyle. Your computer's here,
Yeah.
okay? And what are you put in this computer so you can take off all the bad stuff that you learned or you was traumatized from your childhood and you put in new information. So I was putting a lot of new information that help me to understand other people. You need to learn how to connect with these people because you arrive to those houses and maybe they are fine. They're fine. They have a fight, wife and husband, or maybe they're going through the children's or grandchildren are on drug, or you don't know what's going on in that spiritual family. And you're right there, it's knocking a door or call someone, and you don't know. So you have to be prepared for the rejection, for the no, and you have to be able to listen. Okay, listen 80% and wait for that signal that you can connect and answer another question to that person so you can build a conversation with that potential client. I always say this, everyone want to be covered. Everyone want to be covered. Everyone want to buy. But people don't want to be sell or sold. People want to buy. Who don't want to cover their loved ones? Everyone. Come on. Everyone. But people don't want to be sold. So you have to be able to have this 9 spiritual law that I was talking about, kindness, a smile. You need to smile. People going through a lot of different things, and you have to be able to understand. Take yourself from the equation. I always say this, Daniela, take yourself from this equation. It's not about you. Put it right here, okay, yourself, and think about this person. What is she going through? Go into her history, what's going on with her. So in that way, you're going to be able to understand this person better. And that helped me tremendously when I have those bad days. I have an appointment, they change my appointment, they lie to me, they don't open the door, you name it. Okay, I went through a lot. I was running around 500 miles weekly, and I was utilized around 120, 110 lead every single month. And for me, when I see the lead, I never have any type of attitude about the lead. I learn the process. I learn when you measure, you can predict this business, but you need to study. You need to know how many lead, how many people can I have them from, and when I have the opportunity, how I can be proactive and intentional with this lead that opened the door for me. So that way I can multiply the business, I can help more people, because it's about helping, it's about serving others. And this is one of the things that I listen to some people, no, because I want to be rich and I want to make money and this and that. And I say, come on, the first things that you need to learn is how I can serve other people. Be a salesperson is about serving. It's about connecting. It's about caring about the other person and helping to that person to take the right decision to cover the low one. I always said, when you arrive to a client house, they are like this. They're like this. Their heart is, I'm not going to buy, I'm not going to buy, I'm not going to buy. She's not going to sell me anything. And your job is a professional salesperson, because sell is psychology. I always said the psychology of selling. Your job is, through questions, how you open the heart. So now the person is relaxed. Now I can connect and I can listen and I can helping them to take the right decision. That's just a selling. It's an art. It's beautiful. It's amazing what you can do with this art. Look at me. I always said, I don't know how many, over $1 million in commission yearly is in Lincoln Heritage right now. I'm one of those one. And I remember my first check of over 6,000 down there in 2009 when I was at the field. And I said, the sky's the limit, Daniela. It's a great product. People need this. And you know what the amazing part for me is when they hug you and they tell you, thank you so much. I know that I tell several times and I hang up on you and I don't open the door the last time that you came. But you know what? I need this. And thank you for being patient with me. Because my husband just passed away 3 months ago, and my son is still paying his funeral services, memorial service, and his credit card. And that's not going to happen to our family. You know how many times, Adam, mom told me I just lost my son in a car accident, and we had to do play and have him in the funeral home for 3 weeks until we get the money for make his memory service. History like that, oh my gosh, I'm very thankful. I know that when you come in here, you come with a mentality of business because you already was a business owner. Not me. I asking God for a job where I can produce enough for my family and I can help the community. This is the true question I asking God in the last week of 2008, crying in the church with a few pennies in my wallet. Say, God, I asking only one thing. Give me a job where I can provide for my family enough, but I can help the community. This is something that my family, my parents, they always put in us as a child to help others.
I think all successful people are the ones that are at least long-term, because same thing, I've had other sales jobs when I was younger that I didn't feel good about. I didn't feel good about the way that I was making money. Coming here, that it was something that was important to me as well, was like, I've always trained, treat every person that you're meeting with, it's your own family, right? Your own parents, your own grandparents. And because by the grace of God, we don't know where we're going to be at. One day that could be you in that situation. How would you want someone to treat you? How would you want someone to treat your parents? And we go out and we help a lot of people. And a lot of times they're not in the best financial positions, or maybe they've had a lot of hard things that have happened in their lives. And so I think to go in there with the right intentions of, hey, I genuinely want to help this person, put them in a better place than where we found them. Go in there, like you said, listen, going there with intentional questions and a heart to help. I think that goes a long way in the sales process, asking those questions, showing them that you actually care, right? Like you said, so that they'll care enough to listen to what you have to say as well. I've always told my wife, I'm like, her light shines really bright. You can feel it anytime that we've had conversations in the past. And that was one of the big reasons I wanted you to share your story, because I think when people get to meet you and hear from you, you can tell, right? You're not just saying that you're going out there with these intentions. You can genuinely feel that you care for the people. And obviously, it shows in your success. What would be some achievements that you're proud of, or some things that could inspire other people based on what this opportunity has allowed you to do?
The American dream is broke. The system that you go to college and you kind of get this degree and you're just gonna make this money, and then you kind of pay 20, 25, 28% taxes, and then what is in your bank account.
Yeah.
So you are in the quadrant, you are in that system. So that is the American dream. Live check by check and pay your mortgage 3 times more, 30 years, right?
Yeah.
So that's something I don't used to. In my country, everyone have their own houses. So the first things I was done in the first 18 months, me and my husband, we pay our first mortgage. We pay that with Golden Memorial in 18 months.
You paid it off?
Yes, we paid off the first mortgage. In 18 months, we pay our house, and then we sell in over 300 grand, and we was buying around 127, 28,000. Was like a 1,500 square feet, 3 restaurant, 3 bedroom, 2 room, very nice. Our first house in America. That when I start with Lincoln, with Golden, we was losing the house. We was 5 payment behind. Bank of America already was sending us a letter that, hey, if you pay or the end of the month, you have to move your stuff, put in the driveway, because we kind of go over there. And why we was in that situation? Because we have a lot of chargeback from the other different companies, Medicare, different things. So we don't was receiving any pass income or anything. So we was brokers broke. We don't was specialized in nothing. And then this was my first accomplish to pay our mortgage, and then pay around $80,000 in credit cards that we was in debt. We was paying everything, and then I start saving 50% of my the money was making 50% every single month. My husband was in the field. It's a couple. We was in the field. We was be able to take care of our 3 daughters, because we don't have no one right here in America. I don't have my parent, my sister, brother, cousin, no one right here in America. So for me, I cannot sell no one this product if I don't have the lead program.
Yeah.
Without lead program, impossible. So one of the things I'm very thankful for, the lead program. Oh my gosh. Follow the system. Stop, try to rebuild the wheel and do this and do that.
So you went from literally from gonna lose your house in a month to 18 months later paying that house off.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
incredible.
sir.
And since then, I know me and you have talked in the past. I know that you and your husband, you guys do a lot of charity work. And I think you'd even mentioned, I think you said you paid off your house that you're in now, right?
Yeah, the new one. That's 100 times more. I put it that way, 100 times more what I have now. My dream house. But before my dream house, I was building a brand new home for my parents down there in South America. I was buying to some brothers and sisters, helping them to buy their properties too. I was working, giving them some cars so they can taking care of my parents. I pay a full-time employee to clean and cook for my parents. And my country, I pay for a nurse for my dad. He's in hospice, but he's in home. So he have a full-time person working with him, and another person that cook and clean for them. My dad is 79, my mom is 77. And I do a lot. I build a couple of churches where he helped. God allow me. How amazing. I get so excited, Adam, because one of the things I can tell you, I know that we are creation of God, and God wants for everyone be successful. And I'm not talking about religions, okay? I'm talking about our Creator that give us what we are reading right now. So I believe in that master, and I believe that he have a master plan for me from the goodness of my mom. And I know that he saw me, and I know he picked me and picked you and picked the community to do big things and create us to be in community and help others, not just me and accomplish. So I can tell you I accomplished financially everything and more that I want to accomplish. But I was be able to, at the same time, build a couple of churches right here in America. My son-in-law, he's a pastor, graduating the University of Florida. They are in ministry for 12 years already with my daughter. And I was able to help a lot in that, and then help the ministry in South America. And now I always was helping for around, as soon as I opened the agency, that God gave me this vision to open the agency. A lot of people was talking to me, Daniela, you need to teach somebody else. And I remember what's so funny. I trained a lot of agents from Richard Peavy for free, no cost. Okay, I say, no, I can train them. Don't worry about it. I don't want to be, even, I remember when Richard told me, Daniela, you want to put your hats on, work with you? I said, no, I don't, no. I want to do what I do. I'm very passionate about it. Look, my mentality. Oh my God, my little mentality. I say in that time, right? I say, no, it is okay. I want to help people. I want to help people. That was was in that time my heart, right? I want to help people. So I train with them. And I remember they told me, I want you to see this. So like you can train people and you can in the future have your own team, blah, blah, blah. And say, okay. So I start training people, and a lot of people that then was working for me or under me. And then I start training my own team, but always with the mentality to help a lot to everyone and learn how to be a leader. That was another, I learned how to be a top agent, insurance agent, and then I had to learn how to be in leadership and management, how to manage. Today I have 14 employees. I have a lot of responsibility financially, but thank God for this great opportunity that is no limits. I just was all South Texas, and I was landing in the plane, and I said, oh my God, it's so much business here. I went to Florida a couple of weeks ago, and it's over 10,000 baby boomers. And I'm talking about baby boomers, over 10,000 daily. 300,000 is retiring the daily basis right here in Texas. So, oh my gosh, I'm feeling that just started. I don't know how you feel, but I'm feeling that this is just the beginning for me. I'm 48, okay? And grandma scores. And I'm feeling I just started. For me, I just started.
Just the beginning.
Just the beginning. Just.
I feel the same way. I'm super excited just because it's, again, our opportunity gets bigger every single day. I feel like a lot more people are seeing that you don't have to go to college and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt and different things. I have a lot of friends that went to college and know a lot of people that got a degree that they're not even using. And then it's like with 32 hours, an online course, you can go out. And if you do what we teach you to do, there's no reason you shouldn't make at least 6 figures a year. If you want to grow it to, like you said, you're doing 7 figures. That's incredible. That's incredible. And it's an exciting opportunity to help other people take advantage of that.
I believe so. The self-discipline. The goal actually was when we went to Seattle in December, and they asked for the goal. My goal is help 100 churches in 2025. I don't know how I can do it, but I will do it. If it's God's will, I will do it because I'm a believer, firm believer, and the biggest one, and that one that gave me breath today. And last year we opened, I always was thinking when I opened the agency, and the first name I would think about our agency, the nonprofit. The first office I ran was like a very small office. Today we have 4,000 square feet right here in the middle of Houston, where we can accommodate over 100 people here. And I remember in the first little office, I told my husband, we need to think about the nonprofit because we always was helping, always, okay? But I told him we need to open the nonprofit, so we find a name. It's a family. We pray about it. And last year actually come to life, the last 2 years, Angels United International Ministry. Angels United International Ministry in Spanish and English. You can go to the website in Spanish and English. You can see the last 4 Bible schools we built last year, but a couple of property that was destroyed. So we rebuild it. And for example, it's a neighborhood right there in my country where it's around 13 they call places that is dealers selling drug and send the little kiddos to sell that drug, and they call poison of ants. And those little kiddos come to this Bible churches, this Bible school, because what we do is we give them all the materials, we build, we pay the construction, and we give them ready with air conditioned heat, and then we give them all the furniture and new roof, paints, everything, kitchen, two restaurants for females and male, and we give them the space so they can, the teachers that work in the churches that working with the communities, helping them, give them some food, and then through that they come and receive the Bible. They receive a class where they can find out that they're important and they have a purpose in life, and God don't make any mistake about them. Even if my mom is, their mom was in drug or alcoholic or abuse, they have a future. Okay. And be able to do this through Golden Memorial, to this great opportunity. I'm getting emotional now because it's like all my dream come true already. I'm choose the kingdom of God. This is what I choose. Okay. And I'm very passionate about that. So it's over 200 last year. We built 4, and it's over 200 children's in those very poor neighborhood that they are receiving 1 or 2 times a week. They receive a milk and some breakfast, something like that, and they give them a class so they can come and talk with the teachers from the church, right? Those churches are people that they have a non-profit organization legally, of course. We check them if they have 5 years in ministry and what is their background. We check everything. We don't give them money. What we do is we buy all the materials. We pay for the construction. That's what we do. Last year was 4. And this is just the beginning. I'm so excited. I said, God, I'm here in my heart, and I love what I do. I'm thankful for Lincoln Heritage. And I was praying for this opportunity down there in 2008. In 2016, when I opened the agency, I prayed and I said, God, I don't know how to do this, but I kind of put all my discipline and all the information, and I know that you will guide me with the right people that will help me, and you will guide me because you know my heart, you know what I want to do in life. We opened the last one in October, and I was able to be in the opening. It was around, the first day was around 40 kiddos that we was be able to do a party for them and receive them in one of those neighborhoods, very dangerous neighborhoods where it's crazy. And be able to do that and go back to my community, I say I'm proud of what I represent. I know that I'm in the #1 business in America, this life insurance final expense. 85% of Americans live check by check. They don't have no money to pay $200 or $300 on an insurance policy or a term insurance or an investment. Okay, they don't have no money, and we can go and help them with $20, $15. That the policy starting $15. Whatever budget that a prospect have, we can help them. So I'm feeling like it's just the beginning. For me, it's the beginning. I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm feeling that this is just the beginning and representing the #1 agency. Wow. So I have so much respect for the Barragans, Emory, and all of them. I look at them all the time. And the resilience and the knowledge and everything that you need to have in order to be that big and affect so many lives in a positive way, like my family. Like God has provided for me everything that I need, more than that, to have this crazy goal to help 100 churches.
What's something that you would like to end with?
I can tell you 3 things. In order to be successful in any type of career or any type of calling that you have, work ethic is required. Another thing is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and make a plan and go one day at a time. Don't stress. In the Bible, talking about don't worry about tomorrow, worry about today, and make the plan for today, and be willing to fail, and be willing to be rejected over and over and over again. Be willing to try. For me, quit is not an option. It's not an option to quit. And let me tell you, I know so many companies down there, good companies, bad companies. Today, I still pick Golden Memorial Lincoln Heritage because the customer service, because what do we do, okay? But follow the system. Be humble. Be coachable, please. I always tell the agent, oh my gosh, you have so much talent, but you have so much ego. I'm sorry. I'm straightforward. I'm sorry. But like I said, is be willing to serve other. Understand that this is a journey and you're gonna go step by step and enjoy. Someday will be hard, very hard. And but this book and this education will help you tremendously to keep going and go through any challenge that you have in the future because life happen in the daily basis. I have a teenager, 17 years old, that she's gonna start driving, and I'm so worried about. I can pray about it and send her to school. Everyone have problems. I always said, this life is our boot camp. Okay. So we have to be willing to muscle in the daily basis to go through and work in ourselves. That's the main things. Believe in yourself, believe in the leader. If you see that leader is honest, have integrity, follow those leaders that have integrity, those leaders that don't lie to you, those leaders really want. Be like this with them and look at them and helping them. And remember to helping other, you help yourself. Believe in yourself and have a goal that's bigger than you. United International Ministry, what motivate me. I'm 48. This is just the beginning. I have 20-year experience. I feel so confident in what is coming. It's crazy. It's just, please believe in yourself and work ethic is required. And I promise you, from home, sitting to make phone calls, you're not going to be rich. I'm sorry.
Be willing to go out and do the work.
But we are here looking for people and helping people that is ready and is humble, is willing to be coachable, is willing to serve somebody else. This is the type of people I want to be surrounded with. I believe so everyone is important, and I believe that everybody has something to give back to the community and to our future clients and helping them. And oh my gosh, I can go on, and I'm just getting so excited. This is just the beginning.
Hey, that's phenomenal. But before we end, I want to put in here anybody that would like to reach out to you. What's the best way for someone to get in touch with your office if they're interested in moving forward and learning more? We'll put whatever the best contact number for a new agent or whether they're licensed, unlicensed, you let us know, and then we'll make sure that they receive it.
They can go DMB Insurance Agency. They can go Google. We have 4.9 stars in training. So they can go DMB Insurance Agency online. You can go Google and look at DMB, Desire, Mercy, and Blessing. That's what I mean. DMB, Desire, Mercy, and Blessing Insurance Agency. And they can go in there and apply straight to the website. And we can give them an online interview or in-house interview, no problem. And we can go through the whole process. We're helping them to get a license. And right here in Texas or another state, we have a program to get licensed them and helping them through the whole journey to be an insurance agent. And promise them if they're willing to follow, the first year they're gonna make over 6-figure for sure.
There's definitely no doubt. I've seen you do it. I've seen all the agents that you've helped, and wish you continued blessings. I'm excited to see you and your husband in Rome. Excited to see you guys continue to grow. And thank you again for giving us your time today.
Thank you, Adam. I'm very thankful for you and your family. Thank you so much.
All right. God bless you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.